Davion Mitchell, the former lottery pick who was salary dumped in a trade to the Raptors this past summer, coming from a Kings team that found they needed him less and less, and that they desired the financial flexibility that salary dumping he and Sasha Vezenkov would provide. The Raptors saw an opportunity to get one of the best defenders at the point guard position in the NBA, and perhaps get a point guard who could shore up their backup position for years to come. A lot of people thought his path to success would include shooting the three much better and defending really well. And while he has defended really well, and we'll get into that later, he's only shot 28% from three, and his success on offense, where he's been a positive, has mostly been due to table setting, pace of play, and the ability to set up the Raptors' scorers. This is how Davion Mitchell is making it work with the Raptors. And just a reminder to like, comment, and subscribe. It's free, it helps the channel, and it helps more people see this work. We really appreciate it. On to the video. So the big thing obviously is that the Raptors defense is much better with Davion Mitchell at the point of attack. He's played a ton of it. He's absolutely essential to their ball pressure defense. The Raptors are top 5 in the NBA in how high up the court they're picking up the ball handler, and they provide backcourt pressure a lot of the time. Davion is a huge part of that. He's also been quite good at nullifying pick and roll possessions at the point of attack and playing deny defense, and while he's not a huge impact player in off-ball defense, it's been better this year than in past seasons to my eye. He's a small, tough, strong, brutish defender who can guard up and has done so often this year. If there's a big two-guard matchup, he can take that, and we're even seeing him a little bit on guys around 6'8". As long as he can push them away from the basket and lock them up and bother their dribble, the Raptors are comfortable putting him in those matchups. And for a Raptors team that has really struggled guarding closeouts this season, Davion is the best of the best on this roster. His ability to recover and provide quick pressure that stops shots from going up, along with his ability to control and slide with drives, has been really impressive with the Raptors. He has stopped a lot of opportunities and forced a lot of misses this way. He's just been really good at taking away the straight line drives from players and making them turn their drives into rounded drives, into uncomfortable shots, and in some cases just straight up ripping the ball away from guys. But honestly, we knew all of this. We knew that Davion Mitchell was a fantastic defender. That isn't what made him struggle to get minutes at the end of his Sacramento Kings tenure. That isn't what made fans frustrated with who he was as a player. It was the offense. And to reiterate this, a lot of people thought that his path to being productive on offense was just play off ball more, defend, and shoot the three well. And it's crazy to say this, but as of November 21st, Jakob Poeltl and Davion Mitchell were the 6th most effective high-usage pick-and-roll combination in the NBA. His pacing in the pick-and-roll has been really strong. He's very comfortable putting guys in jail, bringing in the weak side or the strong side to create threes, but most of all, supplying one of the best roll men in the NBA, Jakob Poeltl, with pocket passes and really any type of pass that can get it into his catch radius. Is Jakob Poeltl doing some of the heavy lifting here? Absolutely he is. Jakob Poeltl is like the guard whisperer. He will take anybody and he will make it, a salvageable pick and roll possession. But Davion and Jakob have been one of the best in the league, man. And for a backup guard, and I know he's been starting, but for a backup guard, having a guy who can just come in and competently run pick and roll is a huge benefit to the team. And on top of that, you don't want him to look for his shot too much because, well, he's not that good at shooting and he's not that effective at the rim. But that also means that he's very conscientious about moving off the ball, keeping the pace flowing, and playing a style that does fit what Darko wants to do and also allows for so many of the Raptors players to get involved. The best table setters are guys who really threaten with the ball to score, of course, because they bend the defense out of shape and they get into dangerous spots and they make everything easy for others. But if you can't do that kind of stuff, the best way to survive on the floor as an offensive player is to make sure that you provide for others. Put them in comfortable positions. If it's not a huge advantage, fine, but get them their ball in their spots. And Davion has done a pretty damn good job of doing so. And he won't be the starter. He's not the starting point guard of the future or anything, but he is a player that the Raptors basically had to do nothing to get. They actually got picks along with him, and they took a shot on a guy and said, We think he can fit in here. We think he can provide value. And Davion really has done that. And I think it'll look even better when he's in a role where he gets to play next to an Emmanuel Quickly, a Scotty Barnes, and RJ Barrett more often, because when the numbers when he played next to guys like De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis were great, the Kings were running away with those minutes. So even as Davion's role scales back a bit, I think he can be quite comfortable in that role. And I think that the Raptors potentially could have found a backup point guard who fits on this timeline and who hangs around the team for a long time. It just depends on what they want to do with an extension or what free agency, the restricted version of it, looks like for Davion anyway. And of course, on top of all of that, he's not a good three-point shooter, but he's not a 28% three-point shooter. That can get better. And that just helps a lot of things move along too, because as much as he's done things that aren't shooting that help, shooting the ball better, it always helps, man. It always helps. He shot 37% last year, 36 around there. If he gets back to that, totally gravy. But I still think he can compete for minutes and provide the Raptors with good minutes, shooting in the low 30s from downtown. Now, are there questions about a playoff rotation and stuff like that? Sure. But for right now, with what the Raptors want, a guard who moves the ball to others for their development possessions, I think Davion is like a tremendous fit and could fit as a hard-nosed backup guard for some years into the future. He's been good to start. Pretty happy with him. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Again, another reminder, if you like this, like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff helps out the channel immensely. I mean, you're here, you watched the video, you liked it. Make sure to do that stuff. Thank you so much for listening. I've been Samson Folk. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you.